Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. It's time for another segment of Critter Corner. Today I'm here with Jamie Lasorsa.
Hi.
And she is here with her friends Boomhauer and Panger to teach us about how to take care of tanked pets. So, Jamie, let's get right into it. I see this is Boomhauer over here, right?
This is Boomhauer, yes, and he is a pink-toed tarantula.
Okay.
And you can find these tarantulas in the wild in South America in high altitudes and in humid climates. So, a lot of mountains, you can find them in trees and stuff like that,
So how would you take care of an animal that requires such a specific climate like that?
Well, for these kinds of animals and many other tanked animals, you want to provide a climate that is humid and also allows them to climb, especially for these kinds of spiders. That being said, I usually use a bedding that is very good at holding humidity. I wouldn't want to use a sand or anything like that. You would want to use something like a bark or soil that really holds in that moisture, and with the heating pad underneath each tank, it allows humidity to build up, thus creating a better environment for them to be more comfortable when shedding and when eating and just like in their day-to-day.
Okay, nice. Speaking of comfort, obviously, there are many different kinds of tanks. Is there anything that Boomhauer would say need or not need that any other animals would?
I'm glad you asked that because a lot of times when people are setting up a habitat for their tanked animal, they go towards heat lamps. But actually, for animals like Panger over there and Boomhauer over here, because they're climbers, having a heat lamp wouldn't necessarily be the best thing for them because they can actually get burned and it could be almost fatal for your animal. Exactly. So I always use the heating pad under the tank. It's really recommended because, also it allows them to have a cool side of the tank and a warm side of the tank, which is very important just for their own comfort levels.
Wow. Okay. I never would have thought of that. Nice. So, how do you feed a tanked animal, like Boomhauer, for example?
Well, for Boomhauer, it's super easy. Would you like to meet him before we get into that?
Absolutely.
He's right over here, ready to see the limelight. Come over here, bud. This is Boomhauer.
Hello.
And if you notice his pink toes on his feet, those are actually like a defense mechanism. When he gets frightened, they kind of sting, which is really fascinating to feel. They're not really hurting right now. He's just wandering. But when it comes to feeding him, place that on the ground. It's very easy. I get 6 medium crickets, and you can they come in little bags, and you could just drop them in the tank.
Oh yeah, look at him go.
Look at them go. And then Boomhauer, in his own time, when he gets hungry, he will feed on them. And that's always quite a show to watch, but hard to miss.
Wow, that is fascinating.
Right? He's a cool little guy.
So, like we were saying, obviously different tanks, different animals.
Exactly.
So, what would you say is important about taking care of a snake like Panger over here?
Well, let's take a little switcheroony. Oh, and here is Pangerbong. The cool thing about these two animals together is that they're almost in conjunction with one another. You can use the same type of bedding and bark for Boomhauer for Pangerbong, and vice versa, whether it's a soil, because like Boomhauer, the king snake, which you can find in the West Coast, Nevada, Oregon, California, anywhere like that, they also like humidity and high altitudes. Okay. So you can use the same type of bark that you used in that tank for Pangers. I'm going to pull out Panger because he's looking a little alert right now. And here he is.
Hey, bud.
And this is Panger. And
what a cutie.
He is very cute. And unlike his companion Boomhauer, he is way more active, not as docile. You can totally read what he's thinking and feeling and what he wants. Like right now, I think he wants to be put down.
Oh, yeah.
So with that, you, again, can as long as you're building up the humidity in the tank, giving them stuff to climb on and stuff like that, then they're happy. Also spraying the tank and the soil once a day just to further humidify the room they really love that, and it helps them with shedding.
Okay, that seems pretty low maintenance. Is there anything that you would need for Panger that you would say not need for Boomhauer?
I would say that comes to the food, because again, they both need water and food and shelter. So when it comes to Panger's food, he does things a little differently. You can pick up any size rodent in bags like these, and it's a little gruesome at sometimes, but you simply just fill it up in a cup with lukewarm water, let it thaw out. You don't need to cook it. Misconception I had when I first got him, that I thought I had to cook the mouse.
Oh.
Turns out you don't. So you can kind of just drop the mouse in there. It's already thawed out, and sometimes he doesn't find it.
So like Boomhauer, he'll just eat whenever he's ready?
He eats whenever he's ready, and for Panger, it's more, he's going to go for it now because he sees it. It's more of a matter of when he will find it, which is pretty funny. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, wow.
And
Look at that.
Look
Must
at
be
that.
a hungry guy.
Yeah.
So, I feel like there's a misconception about tanked animals that they don't have the same kind of personality as, say, a dog or a cat.
Mhm.
Would you say that's true?
I would have to fully disagree with that. A lot of people only, put up this border against tanked animals, including reptiles and tarantulas and whatever that may entail for some people, because they think that they're not going to give that love, that affection, that comfort, that also the need to feel responsible for something is a huge weight on a shoulder that can teach valuable lessons that I think these can supply in a way less workload than a dog or a cat. It's way easier to take care of these, but also just as equally important and teaches responsibility.
Okay. Well, thank you very much again for coming in, Jamie, and
No
thank you for
worries.
bringing in Boomhauer and Panger.
My pleasure.
To meet everyone out there. If you are considering getting a pet and don't necessarily feel like you have the time or the responsibility to take care of a larger animal like a cat or a dog, please consider tanked animals. They're friendly, they're easier to maintain, they take less time, and they can be just as beneficial to your life. So once again, thank you, Jamie. Thank you for bringing in
you.
everyone. This has been Critter Corner, and take it easy.